Hey Eurovision fans, you already know the second semi-final Eurovision running order, but we haven't talked about it yet, and I haven't expressed my predictions and my thoughts on who it has helped and who it has sort of sandwiched or sort of discarded, and decreased the chances for qualification from the semi to the grand final. But before we discuss, please give me a like, hit the notification bell, and remember that you can join and become the official supporter and sponsor of our channel and become our Eurovision fan, Eurovision friend, or Eurovision family. Yes, I hope you choose the last one because I have some bonus there for you that you have to check out. Without further ado, let's go. Now, as the show begins, the second semi-final begins, the first thing we see is Malta performing as #1. Now, I've already been asked, because I have a lot of Maltese friends, and hey, my husband is Maltese, he's personally interested in it. Has this helped Malta's chances to qualify, considering it was in place 30-something, 35, 30, so 6 or 7 or something, to qualify before the running order was revealed? Now it is doing relatively better, also thanks to the pre-parties that have just shown us that Sara Bonici can kill it on stage, and she can easily, well, not that maybe hands down, but quite easily combine amazing dance routine and vocals and do it super professionally while not losing her cool. I think even though some suggested that Kalin and Austria would have been a better opener, but I think, you know, Kalin is kept for later for a reason. Obviously, Austria is also a bigger audience. Malta is only 500,000 people, the whole island, and so probably EBU is like, well, you know, if some country joins in later, you know, some bigger population country, then they will not lose as much, or they will not skip their country's performance, they will not lose it. But at the same time, I think it's a brilliant choice, and it has helped Malta a lot, because it will be such a, you know, such a, let's say, traditional Eurovision entry that will remind us all of this, you know, bangers of, you know, early 2000s and 2010s, this girly bop kind of songs, and just the best from all countries in terms of this dance Eurovision, pop, super kind of, you know, maybe a little bit generic, but still very signature Eurovision sound. While Kalin, for example, is much more on the modern sort of, modern mixed with retro sort of sound, but she represents more, you know, Austria 2022, while Malta embraces, I would say, several decades of the signature Eurovision pop, let's call it this way. In the first position, as Tom Iasi mentioned, there is 53% of qualification potential if you perform first, and I think that really benefits Malta, because right now I see its odds going up, and it's already not 35 or 6, but it has moved to 31st position, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe crawling even higher. Actually, it's still sort of out of top 10 to qualify for now by bookies, but we all know bookies might be wrong, and we all know the first performance is remembered a lot more than the second and the third, and its qualification potential is much higher. And I've seen those pre-parties, guys, when they lift Sara Bonici up in the air, when the dancers lift her up and she's like a plane, just lying super straight, vocals unshaken, you go like, you know, what? I hear the audience screaming in all the pre-parties. It was like a show starter from second one. It got me so high, burning up like a fever. Usually something like this, a choreo like this, would be given for a bridge, would be given at the end of the performance, such as Noah Kirell's Israel's performance last year. She left this hardest part, unicorn, till the very end. There were a lot of this kind of movements, you know, and they took a lot of her energy. She would be dead after that. And Malta decided to play it sort of from the beginning till the end. She's dancing the whole way around. Well, we know that Sara Bonici has been dancing for 18 years. She is confident, and it shows. And when you're confident, it's sexy. And when you also deliver vocals on top of that, you know, I still think that she can qualify and that her odds are rising because she's being put to open the whole show. Now, second is Albania. I do like the second song much better than the first one, I must say, and of course it's in English, which helps. However, it's a death spot, and let's be honest, qualification rating here is very low, and the historical qualification possibility here is only 40%. Even though Albania qualified last year and it gives them this sort of like positive streak, I do not see how this year from the second slot, quite a generic song, and just not new, you know, not sort of 2024 kind of song can progress to the final. There is no jury. If there was jury, I think Albania would have easily actually got to the final, but without the jury in the semi, this is a very, very low, unfortunately, qualification possibilities. Sorry, Albania, but you know, this year with this, not only with the running order, with whatever position in the running order, they would have a very difficult time trying to qualify. We are going to spot number 3, and even though the qualification rate of the third position, from the third position, is still 40%, just like from the second, and people don't talk about it as the death spot. However, it cannot be death spots at all for our It cannot be a death spot for Greece, definitely not, because our amazing Marina Satti is going to do something quite memorable on stage. Probably you've heard that she's going to try and do the whole thing with just one camera following her, and usually you have, I don't know, between probably 10 to 20 cameras watching you and taking different you know, angles of you on the stage. Now she's going to try something all good, old and revolutionary at the same time, to probably make it sort of similar effect as in the music video when somebody is sort of filming you and you are like a tour guide walking around. Now, how they're going to pull off this tour guide concept from the music video, I have no idea. I do think it will be more probably just filled with dances. Maybe we will see an unexpected dance break somewhere there, although there is a lot of dance music throughout the whole song. But I think we're in for a surprise from Greece, and she's going to probably stop the music for a while and go da, da, and I don't know, do something with go. She isn't that, you know, high level of a dancer. We're not talking Kalin or, you know, Sara Bonici in this case, but we are talking great energy. And as much as people might be like, yeah, but that sounds like that song, and also like this song, and also like many, many other songs which have the same yeah, whatever kind of rhythm. I don't care, guys. It's catchy. I want to put it on repeat when it passes to the final, and it will, I believe. I've just expressed my personal opinion here. Jury will also, I think, support it quite a lot, because vocally, especially when she does this sort of Indian type of notes, yeah. Yeah, oh, I love it, absolutely, you know. Somehow this entry has a very Arabic sort of feel to it, and even though last year Greece and Victor, who was crazily jumping around, did not qualify, I do not believe it is any indication that this year Greece is not in the final. I actually am a total believer that Greece this year will crawl to top 10, yeah. And yeah, I believe that's what the odds are showing. She was 7th, 8th in the betting odds and is still there, yeah, and whatever she's going to move to 10th, 11th right now in the betting odds. I think when we see the first rehearsals, a lot depends on that, of course, we will be positively surprised. Greece is probably ready to try something very out of the box this year. From out of the box to even more out of the box, because the 4th place is very out of the box, non-binary. Switzerland singer. I personally do not see how this position in the running order in the second semi could benefit Switzerland. It has, well, better qualifying streak than the second and the third place to qualify from, but the 4th place is still giving you only 47% qualification rating, as ESC Tom pointed out, and that would probably hurt Malta if it was there. It would definitely bury Albania if it was there. Not really that it would hurt Greece, but Switzerland in no way it would hurt, because of course Switzerland is going to qualify hands down. and we are going to see it progress further with the jury on the side of great vocals in the final, sort of a Bohemian Rhapsody situation. We saw how after the recent performances in the London Eurovision party and Barcelona, was it Barcelona as well, or just Madrid? But yeah, that just stood out so much among the rest. And then the odds started pushing, you know, Switzerland up, and for the right reason. I mean, we are definitely talking about one of the strongest vocalists this year. We are talking about such an unusual genre mix that jury are probably going to appreciate it. People are not going for the toilet break, and we will see Switzerland in the final. In the meantime, we're going to spot 5, where we'll see Czechia, but I am afraid we will see Czechia only in the semi-final. As much as I praised the song in my first reaction to it, and the song is very melodic, I like the chorus, I like singing it by myself, you know, it could be an interesting sort of body screaming karaoke song, you know, put myself on a pedestal. Yeah. But you either have to be very sort of stable and strong vocally to pull it off, or you just don't try a song like that at all. And I'm afraid to say that following the performances in London and Madrid pre-parties, especially the London one that I was checking out today once again to either, you know, confirm or disconfirm my own thoughts. Yeah, this is not pulling it off. Somehow our girl Aiko or Alena is not really managing to make it work, you know. She makes it work visually, she's behaving confidently on stage, but vocally, and I can feel that she feels it as well, it lets her down to the extent that I just stopped loving the song. I stopped wanting to listen to it till the end, you know, and I catch myself thinking, when is the next one coming?
Sorry means nothing when everything else stays the same, stays the same.
And with the qualification rating of 47%, just like the 4th spot, not yet that high, it's even less possible that she will qualify. And I'm afraid of this kind of Müller reaction and flop when we see it live on Eurovision stage. Our girl has to pull it so good together, you know, she has to give it, I don't know, 1000% on top of what she is doing right now. She has stopped jumping like crazy like she did in the national selection, which is why many criticize her for this a bit vulgar performance. But, you know, not jumping somehow didn't help stabilize her voice enough. And seeing now that she isn't dancing all around the stage, she's just walking a bit, but that didn't elevate the live performance. I mean, I know many of you like the energy, I like the energy too, but I'm sorry, the energy is not enough. And even if it manages to pass to the final, this is gonna be buried by juries, guys. This is gonna be so buried, I don't even want to think about it. And you know, sometimes it's better to be the 11th or 12th and not qualify from the semi than be getting 3 points and 5 points in the grand final. You know, and that's what might happen. Now, in position 6, we've got France. Je t'aime, je parle pourquoi. Definitely we all je t'aime our Slimane, but he is not competing. We're just going to see him perform live for the first time in the second semi, and we are going to move to the next performer. But the next performer is Austria, and what it can do is the fact that this big 5, if they are vocally stronger, if the song is stronger than the act following them or even preceding them, but especially following them, this is going to easily cause this preference in favor of the big 5 act and make you not want to vote for the next act. However, I think even though vocally in this case Kalin is much obviously weaker than Slimane, I mean, let's be honest, yeah, that Slimane deserves to be in top 5 by the jury, by the beauty of the voice this year, and I would never turn off that voice on my Spotify or YouTube because it is such a heartfelt type of voice. I don't know, Sinatra of France if you want. Definitely Kalin is going to vocally not stand up to that. It's physically impossible if you're not Slimane yourself, or I don't know, maybe Barbara Pravi. Voila, 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 you know. But no, voila, our Kalin might again be a bit of a letdown vocally. In the last pre-party in London, I think, you know what happened, her bra unhooked or sort of tore apart, and she was holding it the whole time with her left hand and holding it like that. And I was like, wait, what is she doing? Why is she holding her breast, and why is she dancing with just one hand? Oh, that's why. And many wrote bravo, you know, like Kalin managed it. And yes, she didn't, you know, stop the performance. She didn't complain about it. She didn't want to start all over again. She continued it like a true professional. Let's not forget that she's been in Eurovision one way or the other for many years now, and even is a co-director of a Junior Eurovision and staging director. So that, you know, that shows that she will never let Austria down by, I don't know, some mishap, you know, stopping her from dancing or from singing in the middle of the song. But singing quality is another question. We love the song, we love the energy, we love, you know, the dance routine and how she behaves on stage. It will be a little bit though underwhelming after French performance. It will be definitely a bit of a vocal step down from that, but it doesn't mean that Kalin will not qualify, because being after one of the big five means sort of a beginning of a new chapter in the second semi, and that will give us a little bit of fresh air, you know, like, oh, okay, so big five is big five, you know, they're not competing, you know, let's have a cup of tea and now let's continue. And who is next to potentially qualify? Ta-da! Yeah, and that is Kalin. She will be remembered 100% and more. And after Kalin, such a all kinds of party, raving, woo-hoo, yeah, we have Denmark with quite a low-key, I would say, type of song, and unfortunately not very memorable, neither during the song nor in the recap. It's pretty static. I can feel you slipping through my head. In this case, it will work not in favor of Denmark, definitely not, and even with the possibility of 60% to qualify historically from this position, Saba is probably going to, not probably, but I can bet on it, you know, is not going to make it to the final. Yeah, I don't want to bet on it, sorry guys, yeah, sorry Denmark, because now it's pretty sad that Denmark has this checkered past, and they do not always feel what Europe sort of wants from them, you know, and just like Sweden, they always go with the safe entries, and safe entries are not always the most exciting ones, let's be honest. What is more exciting is the act following it and performing as, if you wish, it's number 8 or 9, but if we consider France, then it is number 9 in the first semi, and that is Armenia. Super fun, super crowds making go wild, you know. Very straightforward, unapologetic, uncompromising, kind of enjoying the moment. Definitely Lada Niva, who gave herself, I mean, her band this name following the Russian car producer Lada and the model of the car Niva. If you haven't heard about it yet, she and her multi-instrumentalist partner discovered at some point that both their grandfathers had Lada Niva, the same type of car, yeah, which is not the best type of car that you can find, but it was at that time super popular to be owning it. And so somehow from the car make, you know, the band received its name Lada Niva, while the singer's name is Jacqueline, short Jaco. That's why you see Jaco in the song title. Now, will this position be beneficial for her? Of course. She's closing the first half of the second semi. After that, people are going to discuss her a lot. After that, people are going to be in the dancey state of, after Kalin, the dance will continue then with more national motifs of Jacqueline, Jaco, yeah, and this is going to be probably, I think it might be the effect of Moldova of Trenoletul, actually. Televoters winner. Unbelievable, either winner or second, yeah, and this can be a similar effect. I'm not saying that the song is that kind of standing out so much, you know, as to make it to probably top 5 of the whole Eurovision. No, I'm not saying that, but mark my words, she might get into top 10 even in the grand final. And I'm definitely feeling that this is passing through, sliding through, flying through with the pomegranates to the grand final. And the closing part of the second semi is only helping it. The second half of the second semi-final, when people are already quite warmed up and ready to continue the party for everybody dance, we'll see a ballad. In this case, it's Latvia. We are talking Latvia performing in, let's call it slot 10, if we consider the big five, it will be the 10th one. And normally a qualification chance here is pretty high, it's 57%, but Latvia has been on quite a negative streak of -6, as ESC Tom mentioned. That means 6 times recently it hasn't qualified, most recently for the grand final. Let's remember last year Southern Lights, which were a great band, but didn't make it just a tad, you know, to the grand final. But will it be the same type of story this year? The song is great, people love Dons, and he has this very powerful, soulful delivery.
I'm drifting in and out of who I am.
Will it be enough to make it to the final, or will he repeat the story of Southern Lights and eat your salad? Yeah, I think this time Latvia is really a borderline. I really don't know until we see the rehearsals, the first rehearsals. I really don't know what to think in this case, because visually it's against static, and thanks God Dons has you know, been performing in the pre-parties recently, and he has removed a bit this scared face, you know, that was in his national selection final in Latvia in Supernova, because he was singing most of the time like, you know, and you're like, what are you afraid of? You know, what are you scared of? Are the lights in your face? Sudden lights, you know? Now he has become much more natural at this, and I love that he's, you know, learning to sort of be just himself, you know, on stage. There will not be a problem with being himself on stage now, but the problem might be with the simple fact that Latvia doesn't normally have much money to invest into great staging, and doesn't even usually bother, like the crew, you know, behind the artist doesn't even usually bother to make it a standout staging, you know, to create something low budget but high impact. Latvia is normally quite a low impact in Eurovision type of country, so I don't know, you know, until I see that Latvia this year, you know, decided to really, you know, sort of prioritize the beauty of the song and sort of showcase somehow the message that was in the music video with all the prisoners. Great idea, let's do this. Show some prisoners crawling, you know, for their life. Build some sort of a barricade, make people try and, you know, go for their life, climbing those walls like Berlin Wall to make it to the other side, you know, carrying some kind of, you know, stones and chains and burdens.
Oh, to tell you all my sins I can't escape.
That would have stood out, and for me it definitely will flop more if Dons is just singing in the mic, standing in this kind of tank top, you know, on stage. Yeah, we love his muscles and everything, but that's not gonna get him to the final. So for now, until I see the rehearsals, I would say we are looking at a potential non-qualifier. At the same time, we are looking at one of the strongest songs in the semi-final. Yeah, figure it out. It can happen like that. Straight afterwards we'll see another big 5 act, and that's Spain and Nebulosa. Obviously we cannot vote for Spain at this point, but we can get into the song and see how it's staged live. And right after that there is another Spanish act, San Marino's Megara. Straight after the Spanish entry, and again, so 2 Spanish entries, very weird, on the one hand, were put to perform in a row. And that can obviously benefit Megara in quite a lot of ways, because A, Spain has already been watching, because they have, you know, tuned in, they have turned on their YouTube streams of Eurovision to watch Nebulosa make it happen. And since they cannot vote for Nebulosa, but they can vote for Megara, since Megara is not representing Spain this year, they weren't chosen for Benidorm, but they are representing San Marino, and guess what? Nobody's stopping you from voting for them, being Spanish from any point of the world, particularly from Spain. Now, doesn't mean that Megara will pass to the final, even with this nice opportunity and the normal qualification rate from this position, from position 12 being 60% chance. I would personally love it. You know, Megara is one of my favorite acts this year, I will not lie to you. Maybe I'm a bit delusional, but that's just my choice because, you know, I'm a rock fan, and I've had my rock website, check it out, called altarock.net for quite a while now. They are still blowing my mind. I've downloaded their album and put Megara on repeat. They really own the stage. I do think, however, that the vocalist, why, you know, she's getting a bit of dislike, you know, the vocalist is so self-confident and so owns the stage that she, you know, creates this kind of an in-your-face, sort of aggressive feel, you know, that many fans are probably just a bit alarmed by, and you think, oh my god, if I have met that Blackpink type of girl around the corner here, I would be probably afraid, and that will not help, unfortunately, to qualify. So I'm rather on the no qualification, but potentially still there is a chance, you know, there is a chance. So Spain, do not give up voting for your favorite. If Megara is your favorite, help them. They've made such a long road, and keep going from Benidorm to San Marino just for your ears and attention and support. So moving on to Georgia, which has taken the next spot and put out the fire.
Rising from his ashes like a phoenix, yeah. Like a firefighter.
We will need a lot of fire extinguishers to put out that fire, and with a qualification rating from this position 13 being 63%, we are looking at sure qualifier, sure qualifier. We saw her in the London pre-party where she finally performed her song Firefighter. She knows how to draw the attention. She knows, she's like this, you know, a bit of a fuego type of Eleni Foureira type of performer. Very soft and nice and easy to talk to girls, straightforward, and maybe a bit silly at times in the interviews, but that doesn't stop her from absolutely killing it on stage and grabbing all of your attention and keeping you from second one till the end. Vocally flawless, juries are gonna love her. I don't know why Georgia is now in the 10th position to qualify only. She should be in the 3rd or 4th. I think we're going to see hell of a lot of votes for the song. Me personally, I was blown away. You should watch my first reaction. I couldn't stop praising Nutsa and her stage presence. I'm putting Georgia through, no questions asked. I'm also putting Belgium through, and they're coming next at position 14 with a 77 chance to qualify from this position historically, if we consider the Big Five, that is, of course, and they, of course, will do it. Musti will easily qualify for the final. Now, myself, you know, it's not my top song of 2024, and I think vocally it isn't really one of the strongest songs this year. Yes, you can throw stones at me in the comments, because Belgium is more about emotions and drama and a bit of this drag queen kind of attitude in the music video, rather than about the most flawless vocals of this year. And people are feeling it. People are feeling the emotion behind it. People are sympathizing with the inner struggles of the singer, and I believe that is already a guarantee to qualify. You don't need to be the best singer at Eurovision. You definitely don't. You know, what you need to do is you know, grab those viewers and grab their ears and not let go. And the next to perform will be Estonia. In position 15 with a 67 potential to qualify historically from this position, and 2 qualifications in the last 2 years from Estonia successful. We are looking at a potential qualifier too. However, at the same time, now that we're looking at a next one being Italy and La Noia, such a dance is such a moving, you know, kind of groovy song, such an energy following that. 2 high energy songs in a row can be a problem, and while Italy's song is more polished, is more jury friendly, Estonia is more like a chaos mess on stage, where if you like it, you'll vote for it, but you might also just say, what is going on? Too much of everything, 6 people, 2 strange instruments happening, somebody is attacking, sort of police back and forth action on stage. that can be too much for many people, and personally for me it is as well. So it's also hard for me to see how Georgia, Belgium and Estonia qualify one after the other, knowing next comes Italy and also slays it. Well, it might be that all three do qualify, it might, you know, and then Italy just kind of adds to the previous three acts grandioseness, so to say. But I also believe that there is a chance that Estonia is missing it, because after powerful Georgia, after powerful Belgium, and followed by even more powerful Italy entry this year, they might be sort of a, you know what I mean, like the third leg, you know, in this mechanism. And after Italy sings us about boredom, we are going to see Israel on stage, and that is again a qualifier for sure, with a 65% historically qualifying from this position, and even more so because obviously the vocalist is out of this world, and this is going to be such a nice ballad for following a dancey Italian kind of entry. Definitely Israel will stand out, and no matter how many people might be against voting for it, I believe it will get enough votes to easily make it to the final. Following we have Norway, and that is quite an interesting situation. I don't know why EBU did it like that, but we are looking at the situation when Hurricane is a lot of this high pitches, ballad, emotional, heartfelt, and obviously has all kinds of national tensions hidden in it. Yeah, and then we've got Norway, which is also super emotional, also with high pitches, and both of them sort of continue this woo-woo kind of pattern, you know. I'm afraid, you know, not that I don't like Norway's entry, and I know Norway usually puts a lot of effort into staging it nicely, beautifully, the lights, projectors, whatnot, you know, rotation, yes, in the national final. On the other hand, we know what to expect of Norway, guys, and that can probably sort of be an underwhelming thing for those who have already followed Eurovision these previous months. And we do not know what Israel's gonna come up with. We don't know how they're gonna stage it, so I really want to see the rehearsals. I cannot wait. 20 days to Eurovision, oh my god. You know, I really want to see, you know, how their performances, I hope, are different in terms of colors, in terms of visuals, in terms of movement across stage, because Norway is obviously going to be static, but, you know, more moving, but more like from one and the same sort of, you know, I'm a mermaid on a stone kind of visual. But Israel is probably going to be with some dancing involved, with a lot of movement on stage. I hope that at least probably EBU went from that, I think. I don't know whether that's gonna hurt Norway's qualification chance. I hope not, you know, but one of these countries with ballots this year might suffer, either Latvia with Dons or Norway with Gote. I don't know, I don't want to think about it, guys, but we only have 10 spots. And closing the show of the second semi-final is the Netherlands and EUROPAPA. Being the last one in the second semi is always great, because whole Europe is already watching you. The song is about all Europe. The song is about Eurovision. The energy will definitely be there. But again, even though I believe, of course, it will qualify, we still need to see how our EUROPAPA manages to stage it live, you know, because for now I cannot imagine how this will be staged. Netherlands usually put in a lot of money into staging, so they have had also quite a checkered experience and past year with the Eurovision recently, so definitely they need to step up their game, you know, and I think they will. I think we'll see EuroPapa really being memorable. But before we see the rehearsals, for me it's very hard to speak on this one. This is impossible to reproduce on stage what we see in the music video, and when the music video is loaded with things, you know, like traveling or going from place to place, and this is not possible to do. So they will have to come up with something else, probably something quirky, something fun, something in your face. We'll see what the Netherlands have got to offer. Those are my thoughts on the second semi-final order and who it has helped and who it has probably not. There are not so many killed or buried entries in this second semi. It's just that the semi is probably too loaded with fun, dance active songs, and one or two obviously might suffer, yeah, because before they manage to make it to the final. I hope that ballads, beautiful ballads like Latvian Dons, are not going to be as heard. I hope Estonia has a chance with their national motives, and we don't know anything about those drugs, although I don't welcome the message. And I do hope very much that the borderline Malta makes it through, because how they staged it, they really deserve it after all of the efforts and saltos, guys. This is going to be visually amazing. Very, very Luca Honey, very, very Eurovision, very Chanel type of presence. Thank you so much for watching me once again. Do not forget to join me, like and follow, and I'll see you for my future reactions. I have just been confirmed as official press of Eurovision this year, so I am going to Malmö, you guys. I will see you there, and I will give you many more streams and content, so stay with me. Enjoy the rest of the day. Blah, 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 blah. Love you.